mask
Oh, it is a problem?
Yes.
Yes.
Take it off. All right. What about now?
Can hear you much better.
All right. So, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me today. It's an honor to be here and being able to participate in the political process and making what I consider to be a very important question about whether vaccines for COVID-19 should be mandated or not. First of all, why am I here? Well, I have been friends with a senator, and I contacted him a couple of weeks ago concerned about what I was watching and seeing on local TV news stations. I was angered and offended by the fact that the people that I've taken care of for most of my 35 years of practice were being mischaracterized, gaslighted, and, in my opinion, maligned. This is the vaccine hesitant population. These people on local news stations, in my opinion, have been characterized if only we could educate them, they would gladly receive the vaccine. It's a problem of education, and quite frankly, these people just need our help. We're here to help them, and if we can talk to them long enough, we'll convince them that the vaccine is a good idea. The other reason that I'm here, besides defending this population of people, is also to help you all make a decision. I'm the first one to admit this is a controversial issue. And anybody who thinks that this is a slam dunk on vaccines on either side of the aisle is living in fantasy land. Yeah, you know, when I counsel patients about whether to take a vaccine or not, it's almost impossible now, for reasons that I'm going to get into, because I don't have the data. Now, I've got some handouts. I don't know quite how this works, if you've got the handout to refer to, but I'm going to try to refer to them to show you what a good, informed consent involves, and how I can't do that now, and why that plays a role, and whether I believe that receiving the vaccine against your will is even legal. Now, I'm not a professor, and I don't want to say that it's illegal by the law. I guess what I should say is whether it's ethical or moral would be better stated. So if we're going to discuss a vaccine mandate, I think we need to talk about three legs or three issues. Number one, the legal aspect, and I'm not going to go there. There are people that are far more qualified than me that have spoken on that issue. Second leg is it reasonable to ask someone who doesn't want the vaccine? Not talking about the people who want it. If you want the vaccine, it's available. And quite frankly, my personal opinion is, when people ask me, if you're in a high-risk category for COVID, you know, you are over 65, you're under 65, you're obese, male, untreated high blood pressure, we all know the risk factors. My recommendation is take your chances with the COVID vaccine, even though long-term safety data is lacking. So I'm not anti-vaccine. Prior to COVID, I have taken personally every vaccine that's ever been offered to me, because there were long-term studies that were done. You know, we all know that the average time from a vaccine being developed to hitting the market is 8 to 10 years. That's plenty of time to see what the long-term effects of the vaccine is going to be. I think everybody in this room is willing to admit, and if you're not, I don't know how we can continue to have a conversation. But this issue has been politicized. Okay, this issue, both sides of the aisle have taken this and attempted to use it. And from a scientific standpoint, I am, as a physician, bound by Hippocratic oath, which I've always taken very seriously. And my job is not to let politics interfere with my practice of medicine. I serve the people, they don't serve me. That's a lesson that I think Washington and the people in Atlanta need to hear and learn. Because the people in the United States, in my opinion, have lost trust in medical institutions and leadership positions. And that's because of the way that they have treated the American people concerning COVID-19 vaccine. If you'll humor me, Mike Rowe said it best. They're always certain, usually wrong, incapable of shame, and utterly void of humility. Is it any wonder millions find them unpersuasive? Prior to COVID, 18 months ago, the CDC was the gold standard. Whatever the CDC said, that's what I told my patients, and I assured them there was data to back it up. I am sorry to report that in my subjective opinion, the CDC has been compromised. The CDC has been compromised politically, in my opinion. When you look, and if you will, refer to, let's see, give me just a second to look at an exhibit here. Yeah, so page 3. Risk, this is put out by the CDC, risk for COVID-19 infection, hospitalization, and death by age group. This is what the CDC put out to try to help me and try to help patients decide whether they want to take the vaccine or not. So, it's probably obvious to you. I don't need a medical degree to understand that if I'm going to give someone informed consent, I need to give them the odds. First of all, what are the odds that they're going to get COVID? And if they do get COVID, what are the odds that they're going to be hospitalized, and what are the odds that they're going to die? That's a pretty basic step. Look at this chart. All they've done is compared the odds of hospitalization and death as compared to the 18 to 29-year-old group. Well, if you don't know what the odds are to the 18 to 29-year-old group being 10 times more likely to die in the 40 to 29 age, it doesn't mean anything. And what that is the selling of the narrative and not good medicine.
Yep.
So the CDC is trying to impress people that if you're in the 40 to 49 group, you need to be scared because you're 10 times more likely to die than the 20 to 29 group. But let me say the same thing in a different way.